of marrying Allison Ponder Palms last week. Thank you. My little hoop. And it's also a double ceremony with their daughter, Jacqueline, and her husband, Anthony. We slipped off to New York to Niagara Falls. And yes, for those who've never been there, it is quite the scene to go see. Beautiful country, and its reputation definitely precedes itself. And once again, like I say, and we're kind of having to ad-lib some of this as we go along. I didn't know I was giving this toast speech until just several days ago, it seems like. But now I have been trained in giving speeches, and I've always heard that a good speech has a good start and a good finish. Makes sense, right? And the difference between a good speech and a great speech has the beginning and end very close to each other. Yes, everybody caught that. My little humor. Thank you. All right, so before we get started with these toasts, there's going to be several of them. So hopefully everybody has their little glass of champagne, and it's full. Because we're going to have several toasts through here. Now, keep in mind, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. So this take little sips, not big gulps. And one glass should get us through this whole little thing. Now, Allison and I and Jackie and Anthony, we invited many of our friends. And it's heartwarming looking around here seeing all of our friends and family members who were here. But there's family members and people who are near and dear to us who can't be here. And I think it will behoove us to keep all those people who have already slipped away from us in our minds. I mean, they can't be here physically, but they're here in our hearts. But the first time they've ever met me, they accepted me right in. And it's just so heartwarming to know how nice this family is. And with that, that's my second toast. To Ed and Joyce Ponder and the wonderful kids that they raised.
The grandkids.
I'm looking at plenty of
Half of it, grandbaby. I wouldn't go.
All right. Now I'm going to work on Anthony and Jackie for a few minutes. How did y'all meet? Yes. People got to know. I had no idea how to explain this to people. How did y'all meet?
We met in a movie theater.
A movie theater. How
Sounds cozy.
What? Yes, probably so. Probably not from the movie. What movie was
We
it?
met through friends.
Through Friends.
Yes. And when we met, we couldn't stand each other. Because he said I didn't shut up.
I can't argue with you.
And then we became the bestest friends. And then a couple years later, we just hooked up. We became boyfriend and girlfriend. I said to him one day, I said, "You want to be my boyfriend?"
You proposed to him, sound like that. So Anthony, whenever you saw her, you just knew she was the one for you, right?
Well, not at first. But then
Not at first? But she grew on you.
I'm embarrassed.
They're damn good neighbors, though.
Got good neighbors?
Damn good neighbors.
Must have a good fence too, right? Good fence and good neighbors?
Real good neighbors.
Well, as most married men here will tell you, Anthony, I've got a few words of advice for you. Never be afraid that Jackie will leave you. She spent too much time training you. She's not going to throw all that away lightly. And the one thing I was really worried about, I always thought Jackie was, I don't want to say this, possessive. She likes to hold on to her possessions. And I talked to her about it one day. She said, "Oh, no. She said, I share everything with Anthony, including the house boy."
Sounds like a man in the
Yeah, that's very generous of us. And The two words that can end any argument is yes, dear. So just remember that. I have no words of wisdom for her, but it's the only thing I can tell is for you. But the one thing that's good advice for everybody here, is when you're wrong, man up and say you're wrong. But if you're right, don't say anything. And that's good words of advice. It really is. All right, so here we're ready for our toast. Come on in, Ed. Come on in.
Man married is always
And here's our toast, Anthony and Jackie. May the joys you share today be the beginning of a lifetime of great happiness and fulfillment. Here, here.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck up.
My beer wasn't even in front of me.
It's gonna suck up.
But I guess the funny part was that we dated for several weeks before she even told me what she did for a profession. And once I found that out, I said, "This is kind of neat." I said, "This is a family that has death benefits that goes along with it in a way." I heard moaning over there. That was a good joke. But as time went by, we got to know each other better and better. And once again, people just cannot understand how much I appreciate her family. Ed has been like a dad to me. And Joyce treats me like my mom used to. Have you lost your mind? And so I felt right at home. And I asked Allison, probably 4 or 5 months after her dating, I said, "Well, what do you really think? I mean, what do you think about me?" She says, "You're quirky." And I was thinking to myself, I said, "Well, you're very tolerant." So tolerant and quirky seem to go together pretty well because we're like peas in a pod. We get along just great. And I guess it's time for our little toast. And I kind of, if you can't find it on the internet, stuff doesn't exist. And I looked at many, many toasts before I finally found the one that I thought fit our occasion. And I should have used a bigger font. Where are my glasses? They're right there. I should have used a bigger font whenever I typed all this out. So you have to bear with me for a second. And yes, you can get on to me for not having this memorized too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Here's the toast that I chose. And it's kind of strange since we didn't have a best man, and the best man's supposed to be doing this. But here's my toast to Allison. May we both live as long as we want, and never want as long as we live. And that's it. And that's the end of my speeches.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
Hey, Doug, you said more tonight than you have in the 2 years I've known
Y'all let me know after 30-something years.
Okay.